Hey guys, Steve McInday from Perfect Balance Clinic. This is Chris and we are up at the Altitude Centre today. So one of the things that we work on with our clients is working with elite performers, but we work with the Altitude Centre and they also work with elite performers. What other kind of clients do you work with?
We work with elite athletes, we work with mountaineers, work with the general population. So general population going to a mountain, going to climb at altitude, help them pre-acclimatise, and then performance athletes help them with their conditioning, but also with sort of reducing the load through altitude training, and then through general population, just so you can get a shorter time session.
So one of the common things that we get asked is, what is the Altitude Centre? So Chris, tell us a little bit about the Altitude Centre.
The Altitude Centre is an organisation where we do altitude training here in the city. We're based near Bank. This is our main hub, this is the flagship chamber in here.
Whereabouts are you based?
Near Bank. By Bank. Yeah, at Bank. And St Paul's here at the Chump Street Centre. Then we've got the centre in here where we have our chamber. This is where our flagship is, where the general population come and train, and other people. And then we've got other installations where we go to top football teams and other sports teams, and we install chambers like this at their centres. And then we also do rentals, so people that don't live in London aren't able to come here are able to rent one of our machines and train with a mask on at home instead.
Brilliant. So Chris has kindly asked if we'd like to come down and have a look through the Altitude Centre. So when you arrive at the Altitude Centre, it's like something out of a spaceship, right?
A little bit.
It's pretty cool, but when you come inside, so Chris will open the airlock, so watch your ears. So the core door opens like this and we walk through, so come with me. So the first thing you'll see when you come into the Altitude Centre is this. So what's this, Chris?
Yes, this is our monitor. This just keeps tab on where we're set at the minute. As you can see now, we're currently set at 2,708 metres. Not hugely high, sort of high ski resorts in Europe. Set there because it's sort of the best altitude to do your training at. So any higher you can't train to the maximum you can. If you go higher, you can't run as fast, you can't bike as hard. But this is kind of the optimum level to do your training at altitude. And that equates to 15% oxygen, so normally 21%.
One of the things that I've not fully understood is what are the benefits of altitude training. So we said that we work with kind of elite sports performers, and we know that when we send elites to you, they get awesome results. But just for the people at home who may not be elite track and field athletes or mountaineers, what kind of benefits might they get from training at altitude?
Yeah, so basically doing your training at altitude, you are reducing your intake of oxygen. So almost starve your body of oxygen, but not completely. You become more efficient with your oxygen. So your muscles, through exercising at altitude, your muscles become more efficient with their oxygen. So then when you are doing, for example, mountaineering at altitude or an event at altitude, you're able to keep up a high level of fitness at altitude. But then vice versa, if you're going to do London Marathon, you're at sea level, there's loads of oxygen around, so you can utilise that oxygen more and almost go further or faster.
Fantastic. So a little bird told me that if you train at altitude, you lose weight quicker?
You can do, yeah, there is research showing that. We've got someone that works with us in the team who's doing a load of research now at Southbank, and that is what it's showing.
So if you guys are sat there at home wondering about your New Year's resolutions, really trying to optimise the way that you lose weight so that you're not just going through the same old cycle again and again and again, come and speak to these guys at the Altitude Centre and they'll definitely be able to give you some help on accelerating your weight loss strategy for 2019.
Yeah, we'd love to.
Making sure you're getting awesome results. So Chris, what kind of things might people talk to you about when they come down to the altitude?
When they come down to the altitude, talk to us about sort of what mountain they're going to climb. You know, will they suffer from altitude sickness? That's another thing we do. We do some consultations where we'll test their susceptibility to altitude sickness through a variety of tests. In these tests we can go higher than in the room. We've got another machine that basically can take you up to 6,000 metres, and in that we'll monitor blood oxygen levels, see how you respond to the altitude, and from that we can determine how susceptible you are to altitude sickness.
Fantastic.
And then from that result we can direct you in the different sort of training we do in here, as to which would benefit you most before going away.
Brilliant. And the guys were just telling me that you've got a couple of different packages that you guys have, but maybe we'll talk about those once we go through and see the actual chamber. So do you want to show us a bit about the chamber?
To you.
Great, so if you want to come with me. Whoa, almost lost me there. Where's Chris gone?
Okay.
So Chris, tell us about the altitude chamber.
Yes, so we're in the room now. Set at 2,700 meters. You're probably not feeling any different in here until you start exercising, and then you will feel slightly heavier, slightly more starved of oxygen. Yeah, in here we've got treadmills, and we've got some bikes, and we've got a row machine.
So just show people a little bit about that. So why do you have so many different types of equipment in here?
As this is more for the athletes training for a specific event. A lot of people will be coming here more for endurance-based training. Yeah. It can be beneficial for speed and strength training, but a lot of our clientele are endurance-based. And obviously the main two are cycling and running through that, whether it's marathons or sort of sportives on a bike or triathlon, combining the two. So that's why we go for these. But the treadmills do go up to 20%, so pretty steep. We encourage people, if they're going climbing, to bring their boots, bring a rucksack, and stick a weight in it, and we can really simulate walking on a hill.
So when you're working with people that haven't trained at altitude before, what kind of packages do you have for them that might help them get started?
Yes, we normally tend to do an induction. Through that, we'll just go through some health checks, see what you're training for. The more you can tell us about what goals you have, the more we can help direct you towards which training we'd recommend, and help you achieve those goals in a good time frame. So we do an induction and then an introductory session. In that, it'll just be one of our classes that we run 6 a day. A lot of them are high intensity. So probably go in with one of those first and just see how you enjoy it. In those sessions, you can make it as hard as you want. So it'll be time-based intervals, so it might be 5 lots of 1 minute efforts to begin with. Yeah. You can go as hard as you want. So really fit people we run in should be fast for those, and on a bike we'll be pushing high powers. But for your first session, you can take it ease your way in and see how you find it.
Yeah, fantastic. So how much quicker do you think people lose fat when they're working on at altitude? Just so if people have got like a weight loss goal for 2019 or weight gain goal if they want to increase muscle mass, what kind of difference in percentage wise do you think there is training at altitude?
It basically, through training at altitude, you put the body under more stress. Yeah. So your body's using a lot more metabolites to help repair itself, and just basically puts more of a stress on the training. What you probably have to do is do your longer training sessions as well, because this altitude is great for reducing the amount of time you can do your training. So instead of having to go for a 2-hour bike ride, you can come in here and do an hour, and it will probably be the same benefit physically and help weight loss.
So I noticed you see a lot of people that come down kind of after working in their lunch breaks in the city area. So I think you're located by St Paul's, aren't you, near Bank? Is that the most common way of people using it, kind of after work or in office time?
Lots of people do come down and use it during the lunch hour, because the classes can be reduced. Just being at altitude, you don't have to do that long session. Can be reduced. People can fit it into their lunch hour. It's a squeeze, but people do. We have sessions before lunch, before work. Sorry. So looking at a 9 to 5 day, we try and get 2 sessions in before work, 2 at lunchtime, and then 2 after work. And then throughout the day, it's open like it is now for people to come and use, members or with a package of sessions.
Brilliant. So if people wanted to get in contact with you from Perfect Balance, how would they go about contacting you?
Probably the best way is to email us on city@altitudecentre.com.
Good.
We'll pick them up. If you leave a name and number, we can always give you a call or reply to any questions on there.
Good, great. And the guys at the Altitude Centre have put together a little kind of introductory where you can come and try out the Altitude Centre?
Yes.
So how does that work?
The introductory is for a induction, and a class is £10.
Great, that's not bad, great.
Yeah, £10.
So we're actually looking for 5 people who'd like the chance to come and train in the Altitude Centre and get some expert advice from the team at the Altitude Centre. Just leave your details in the box below if that sounds like it might interest you. If you've got some goals for 2019 and you'd like to absolutely smash them with the guys at the Altitude Centre, then come and speak to us and leave your details in the box below, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. But for now, it's bye-bye from me, and
see you later.
Cheers guys, bye.
Bye-bye.